All right, now welcome to another episode of Tackle and Tacos, a fishing podcast, and we're stoked. Like we say that all the time that I'm pumped for this one. I'm excited for this one. But that's the one thing about our show is like we're kind of in a rad sweet spot where like some people ask to be on the show, but for the most part, people aren't like beating down our door. You know, we're not the biggest. Oh, I already let the cat out of the bag. Got the ticker going on the bottom already. People aren't necessarily beating down the door because we're not Bass Talk Live. We're not Meat Eater or whatever. But we have like this rad little deal where we can just sort of cherry pick and choose who we want to be on the show. It's not like if you have a YouTube or if you're a fisherman or if you're a influencer, like, oh, be on our show, like we really kind of pick people we actually want to have a conversation with. And this dude tonight, Larry Melton Jr., YouTuber, fisherman, just, I don't know. He's got this, how would you even describe his vibe, Nate? But this is a cat we've wanted to have on for a long time.
Yeah, no, he's got that personality that you're just kind of drawn to. You just like to listen to him, like to watch his videos. The stuff he does on YouTube is super engaging. It's fun to watch. He like you said, he's got that real personable personality. It's just fun. So I'm stoked for it.
Yeah, I'm honestly like we just talked to him just beforehand for a quick second. I remember when we kind of first started tackling tacos, and one of the things we said right out of the gates was we didn't want it to be just another, and no diss to anyone, but we never wanted it to be just another podcast where all we do is talk to pro fishermen, and right after they win a derby, then they're on tackling tacos. We wanted to talk to everybody, people who fish, people who run taco joints, YouTube people, business owners, pros, people from a local club level who we think are cool that we can have a good conversation with. And this was one of the guys right away. When I saw a few of his videos online, I think the first one I ever saw was Larry fishing a prison pond and catching some slouches, some fence pandas, and I was like, okay, this is kind of dope. It's YouTubey, but not like that annoying, like make sure you smash that subscribe button and all that. And it was just a very authentic kind of believable vibe and like unique enough that engaged you. And so, yeah, I'm pumped to have Larry Melton on tonight and talk about fishing, talk about YouTube, talk about life. I think you guys will see if you don't know who he is. And he's got like 140,000 subscribers on YouTube. He's killing that game. And even just on socials, his presence is strong. So if you don't know about him somehow, I think you're going to leave here being a fan of him like we are. So Nate, how are you? How's life? Any updates before we bring this dude in?
I'm doing good. Nothing major in terms of updates aside from that cold came back, that cold weather that is. But feeling good. Had a little touch of that upper respiratory whatever thing that's going around. Yeah, but I'm feeling much better. My wife unfortunately is not. I handed that off to her. I said I'm good with this. You can finish it off, and she's not stoked about that, but yeah, other than that, we're good. Ready to start fishing. Been buying up tackle left and right. Just all kinds of stuff. So
through like another, like I don't know. I feel like one of the things that you could always get a fish to bite on is just little stuff. So I've gone through like this teeny bit of like Great Lakes finesse and then like 3-inch Kitech stuff. If you've never thrown that on a drop shot, you are quite literally asleep. Small little swim baits, and then Great Lakes Finesse, shout out Dan and the homies at Great Lakes Finesse.
Shout out.
Their own version of a little teeny, they call it the drop kick shad. It's like a 2.75 boot tail swim bait and some filthy colors. I don't know. The Great Lakes Finesse stuff, I got more and more. And then we're not sponsored by them. It's just stuff that we buy because I don't know. I feel like if there's anything that you get like in a spot where you're not catching fish, if you downsize, go to Finesse Junk, it just works. Whether that's
it does, yeah, no doubt.
Rigging, just finesse jigs. I do it, but I don't love it. Like a jig head minnow, it works. It's just a great way, especially with cold water. For us, we're not as blessed as the homie Larry fishing in Alabama and warm water yet. But when it opens up, sometimes that cold water, small baits, it's just it's a no brainer because I think it's such an easy thing for them to eat that they just kind of can't say no. And so yeah, I agree with you. And then also, I'm really pumped on this. We had a couple weeks ago, we had the homie Trey Harple on, who is that real expert, REEL expert. He's also lure painter, and I had him paint me up some like specific swim baits for smallmouth, like up here in Wisconsin. And I asked him for just hot colors, smaller profile swim baits. And so I got like hot pink with a little paintbrush tail, like a KGB shad, chartreuse orange, and then this dope like bone with pink underneath. I'm really, really excited to try and target larger than average smallmouth with swim baits this year, because I've had them come out and swipe at bigger swim baits, but never really specifically targeted them with swim baits, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm in the same boat, Nate. I can't stop buying tackle, but I feel like I could have worse vices. I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
I'm not a party dude. I don't smoke cigarettes, even though I sound like it right now, because I as well had this weird flu, whatever it is, strep nonsense going around. But other than that, the only other thing I want to bring up before we bring Larry in is just a big thanks to everybody. Like we said, Larry has like 140,000 subscribers on YouTube. Our homie Caleb Wisted just hit over 100,000 on YouTube. Hooked up Wisconsin is his YouTube. And like when we first had him on the show, and we've had him on twice, I think now, but when we first had him on, I think he had like 50,000, and he kills it. Like his YouTube videos are such a good blend of good production quality, easy to follow how-to stuff, and then just like tangible, like like the how to flay a pike video or how to whatever. And now he's over 100,000. So congrats to that fella. That's dope. And we're trying humbly, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And he actually said to me today, because I just texted him and said, "Hey man, congrats on 100,000. That's so dope." He did it in a very Caleb way. Like he unveiled the plaque in his little like one-man in Wisconsin, and like that's rad.
Yeah.
But he texted me and he was like, "Dude, getting to 1,000 like you guys are trying to do was actually harder for me than getting to 100, because once you get enough momentum and you get enough people, then it just kind of builds and builds and builds." And so we're trying to get there. So again, if you haven't been made aware of it, we are doing a big giveaway for the 1,000 subscriber mark. When we hit it, we're giving away a pair of Leupold sunglasses, a Grizzly cooler, a Denali fishing rod, like one of the ones over here behind my shoulder, a Shimano bait cast reel, a custom cooler pad for the top of it by Gator Step, made by Moldy's Marine, and then we're gonna fill up the cooler with baits to give you. So it's gonna be pretty dope. Nate, what are you gonna throw in that cooler?
I've got some stuff stacked up already. I've got some what are they? The Chatterbait Evos. I got some of those. I've got a couple swim jigs that are some Beast Coast stuff. I've got Jackhammer, of course, my favorite, War Eagle spinner baits. But yeah, no, just a ton. I got a ton of stuff stacking up, and yeah, I'm just
Throwing this in.
keep the man.
The Vision 110 Matt Perch.
Yes, sir.
That's one of the many things I'm gonna chuck in there, but that's a dope one.
Yeah, for sure. That's it. But yeah, I had to throw in the Beite Delight Jackhammer.
Oh yeah,
got that in there. So
best color ever. It works in everything. But yeah, so the only thing you have to do for that is on our social media, which is at Tackle and Tacos. Make sure you share that post. It's just like a little square black graphic that says giveaway. Share that and then show us either through the comments or through a message that you are a follower or whatever subscriber on YouTube, and then you're in the whole shebang. When we hit 1,000, then we're gonna literally handwrite all those names on a piece of paper and then pull them out of a hat, like on video, one cut, so it's not edited or weird, so nobody thinks we're trying to give them away to a friend. And whoever's name comes out of there, they get all that stuff shipped to their door for free. So that'll be dope. Yeah, Nate?
yeah, no, for sure. So, and one thing, anybody who's a previous subscriber, been subscriber for years or whatever, all you got to do is share the post and screenshot it. This is for anybody that's interactive in that post. It's not about new followers or upcoming followers or anything like that. It's about everybody who's engaging in the post, follows us, and hits that share button. So
yeah, dope. Well, we can hit the sponsors and all that other stuff at the end of the episode, but for now, let's bring in the fellow we've been talking about, Larry Melton Jr. We're super pumped to have him on the show. Like I said, huge social following, 140K on YouTube, and maybe even more than that, because a lot of people, a lot of people have subscribers on YouTube and all that, but this dude's personality, his vibe, it's just very, very authentic. And so with no further ado, we are pumped to bring to Tackle and Tacos, Mr. Larry Melton Jr. Hey.
What's up, everybody? How are y'all?
Hey, what's going on?
Dude, I'm so excited for this. Excuse me. And I would hate to be in Wisconsin right now or Iowa. That sounds like a horrible idea.
Dude,
Um,
so cold. So are you Alabama whole life?
yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you've traveled out of it, but like you grew up, stayed, live in till you're dead. You're there forever, or what?
I talk about maybe having somewhere in like South Florida to live from like end of October until about now. Um,
So even warmer.
yeah, just somewhere just
Yeah.
a little bit nicer. But it's funny that y'all are both up north because all of my comments since the beginning of the year have been like, I'm fishing through you right now, or like we
Yeah,
don't have open water. That's just so foreign to me, like not being able to go fish, whenever you want to.
it's
It's
rough.
the worst.
Yeah,
It's the
I would
worst.
move, honestly. I just up and move.
Yeah, it's fun because I used to live in Austin, Texas, and I also lived in Atlanta. Like Atlanta. You know, people say, "Oh, I live in Atlanta," and they don't live at whatever. Anyway,
Yeah.
Atlanta. And yeah, I remember when I moved from Austin, Texas, up north, and it didn't really hit me until I got back up north. Like, holy crap, I can't fish right now. You know, like I don't. Have you ever ice fished, Larry? It's the stupidest sport in the world.
I have not. I have not. But it doesn't seem like the best use of your time either. You drill a hole and you're just stuck to that one spot. It's like worse than bank fishing for
This dude, he's never done it. And he already gets it.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you get locked into a spot, and I mean, you know how it is when you're bass fishing. You're moving around on the trolling motor, or if you are from shore, just scooching along, finding little holes and whatever. And then ice fishing, you fish a hole until you're for sure there's no fish there, and then you move all your crap to another hole, and then it's like desperation status. Like if there's nothing else to do, at least you're sort of wetting a line, but then your guides get ice in them, and your fingers are cold. It's so I have a 4-year-old, Larry. His name is Gus. And yesterday he said, I really want to go fishing. And I said, yeah, buddy, me too. And he goes, but ice fishing is stupid. And I was like, yeah, I promised him. I was like, yeah, you're right. It is stupid. Like we have all the gear, we have a hut and a heater. And anyway, but yeah, man. So thank you for jumping on the show, dude. We're really honored, pumped to have you on. For anybody who doesn't know, again, you can follow him, find him on YouTube, Larry Melton, Jr. on YouTube, just at Larry Melton Jr. 138,000 subscribers. And Larry, I was just watching a video of yours today, and I think one of my favorite things about anybody, but especially someone who kind of has like a following people look up to, such as yourself, is when somebody is really real, like really authentic, sort of like it almost feels, we don't know you, but like it feels like you're approachable. You feel like a normal human being. I was watching a video where you caught like 2 7-pounders. It was a recent video, I think within the last month or something like that. And I was just telling Nate beforehand, are you editing all your own stuff still, or does somebody else chop up your videos for you?
I still do it. I had a guy, he actually lives right down the road from me. He was doing it for a little bit, but then he went to go film with the guy on the Elite Series. So I've been doing it, pretty much since I started.
Okay. So what I was going to say is the intro was super dope. Like some really kind of like boom bap, hip hop, like good music to start it, cool drone shots. And then you do like a hard cut. And the first shot is you getting a rat's nest on an A-rig and throwing your whole rod, reel, everything in water. And I'm like, that's so dope, because you could have so easily just cut that out of there. But like you were down to just not be too cool for school. Tell me, like, is that something you have to put effort into, or is that just who you are?
No, I think so. I have an issue. You can ask Emma if we brought her out here right now. Like when I'm walking through Bass Pro, I forget that I know I make videos, but I forget people watch the videos. So like I'll be walking through a store and people will be, looking at me, and I'm like, what is, why are you staring at me? Yeah. But I promise I'm not, it's not like in a mean thing. It's just like, you're not used to, it's just weird to have, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's like weird to have people that watch the videos, and then like the numbers of people that watch the videos. It's always weird to like know that, I mean, even you guys, you've gotten more out of fishing than 99.9% of people in the history of fishing have with your podcast. Whether it gets 1 view or 1 million views, you've done more than, all of history that's ever fished. You've pulled more out of it, and then you've also put more back into it. Just the fact that you have a platform that people come to and learn, or are entertained by. So
yeah, that's funny. So do you, when you make a video, let me ask you this, are you looking for like, this is going to get good engagement, or is it like, I just like what I'm doing right here?
Mix of both. I think there's a balance to be had. I like to do things that I just would be doing anyway, because I think that return is better on the video. If I look like I'm enjoying it, or if I'm actually enjoying it, it's going to transfer better.
Totally.
You know, it could just be catching bluegill with my son, but like if it's fun, then you know, I think it resonates with people. But I think there also is a side, like if you get to go fish some private pond that you really don't want to fish, but like you know that there's big fish in it.
Yeah.
I think there's also a side to it where you kind of have to have that, you know, I know that this video will do good and like it'll boost the rest of the videos. So
yeah, I mean, you're at the level 140,000. I mean, that's a big number. So yeah, you have to. I mean, I think if you just said, "Oh, I just do what I like," you know, you might be stretching the truth a little bit. Nate, take over for 1 second. I just realized my laptop's not charging, so I need to jump back here behind my computer for 2 seconds. Sorry, Larry. We're very
all good.
And yeah, I need to get that going. But Nate, jump in for 1 sec, brother.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think we might step back a little bit. I think kind of how we typically start this deal is, you know, why don't you let us know kind of what got you started into fishing, how it progressed into wanting to do the YouTube thing, and you know, to where you are today.
Okay, so I think like I just remember being, you know, little, waking up early, going to some of our state lakes we have here in Alabama, fishing with my dad. And we would fish for bluegill, catfish. You know, sometimes we get lucky and catch a bass, and we target crappie sometimes. So that seed was always planted early, and I've always said that I feel like I was more excited than like the average kid to go fishing. Like I feel like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm sure I'll grow within it. But like I just feel like I don't want to say destined to do this, but I feel like I'm in the right space. So fast forward to me being 18, about to go to college. I remember verbatim, it might be on an old video on the channel. I was making videos in high school. People would ask me, what do you want to do when you grow up? And like, I want to fish for a living. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't think I was going to be a professional fisherman or do YouTube. I just knew I wanted to fish for a living. Like fishing for a living for me could be literally fishing for my living, like going to catch bass and eating the bass to live.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
So fast forward, I go to college for kinesiology, thinking I want to be a physical therapist, but then I'm like, physical therapists make 80 grand a year. Probably not going to be, you know, I could probably do something on my own and come up with that somewhere. You know, it might take me a little bit of time. So I get to school in 2019. Fast forward spring of 2020, COVID hits. We all get sent home for spring break, and then we get like an extra week of spring break and then another week, and then we're told not to come back. So at that point, I've like checked out of school. I'm not logging in, doing any work. I'm fishing every day, you know, hanging out with my buddies from high school. Like I'm like, I don't have to do schoolwork because I'm not going, you know, if I'm not in school, I'm not doing work at home.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think of things in ways that I wouldn't have to go back to school. And the number one thing that was working for me on social media, because I had a couple videos that did good, but fishing stuff. And luckily I already enjoyed fishing, but like I was posting 3 videos every day at 11 a.m. on TikTok, and I posted 3 fishing videos one day, and one of them got like 15,000 views. The next one got like 18. And then the next one got like 24,000 views. So I was like, maybe I'll try this again tomorrow. And then, I mean, every single day during COVID, I'd post 3 fishing videos at 11 a.m. and all of them would just, you know, pop off. And then eventually, fast forward a few months later, I got reached out. I want to say it might have been like Catchco or Guggen Squad, like Team Guggen at that time. And then I had a monetary offer from them, and that was enough to show my parents, like, hey, there's something here. You know, this $300, I can live off of this for the rest of my life, you know. So it was, I don't know, it worked out perfectly. You know, COVID was the best time of my life, and I don't want it to happen again. But if it were to happen again, you know, people at home, eyeballs, it was just kind of magic.
Yeah.
So
you don't have like a virus lab in your basement or something, do you, Larry?
Not to my knowledge, not to your knowledge.
Yeah, for sure. So that's funny that you say that, because I'm not anti whatever, but like Guggen always felt to me as like the prototypical like YouTubist fishing YouTube, whatever.
Yeah.
And your vibe to me was never that. Yours, and not again, not a diss, like different strokes, different folks, you like whatever. But yours always felt really authentic. Did you ever have a struggle with like being who you are on camera, or did that just kind of come natural for you?
No, not really. So the first people that I filmed with, I got to film with Norm and TJ. I love those guys. I can call, or I talk to TJ a lot more than Norm. He's just disappeared off the face of the earth, I guess.
Yeah.
But So they kind of had that, like, going into, they have, at the time when we were filming, they had like a very cookie cutter video style. So that was my first experience. And then I got to hang out with some different people that kind of do what I do now. They're going to just share what they do for the day. So I think that in the beginning, I kind of thought that's what fishing YouTube was, because that's what was working for them. So I'm like, okay, I understand what I need to do, even though that might not really be who I was. And I think I've kind of found my identity within YouTube. And I think there's a few guys that kind of do the same style of videos that I do. But as far as, like, I don't know, what I tell people is, like, you have to figure out what works for you. But then also, like, I think you'd be dumb not to pull inspiration from other people.
Oh, totally.
But I'm sorry. I've been up since like 4 o'clock this morning. So if I've been scatterbrained or long-winded, I'm trying to pull everything in.
Dude, you be as long-winded as you want, man. We love it when people barf stuff, because it seems like usually, at least on our show, when people are just blah 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 blah, they're blah blah blahing because they're like passionate about what they're talking about. So don't apologize, man. Let it,
without a doubt.
For sure. So, I mean, like, when you first got on camera, though, I guess specifically to dig into that answer a little bit more, did you feel weird? Did you feel dumb? Or did you just not really care? Like, you just go for it?
No, I don't really care. Like, I was doing like prank videos. I did a few like public interviews on YouTube. I think those are probably still on my channel. I don't know. I've always liked people, and I think people are interesting. Like, I'll sit and I'll talk to, like, if we were at a bar in college, like, I'd sit and talk to somebody outside for, I'm outside talking to some dude I met.
Yeah.
Not, knock on wood, no homo, but like,
Right.
Yeah, that could look a little weird if we just clip that, but we won't.
Yeah.
Though.
I mean, clip it. I guess I don't care.
No, we never do you dirty, dude. Never that, for sure. I mean, you kind of leaned into something I wanted to ask you anyway, but what recommendation, what advice would you give to somebody? Because it seems like, I always joke, if I could talk to young Jordan, I'd be like, dude, get on YouTube when it first comes out, start making videos, but now it's like so saturated. Everything, if there was, I don't know, this is a keyboard. If there was like a keyboard YouTube, there's 3,000 keyboard YouTubes. Are they just the most specific niche things? Fishing, racing, chiropractic, I don't know what it is, hair, everything. How do you stand out? What advice would you give to somebody now who wants to kind of blaze a trail on some YouTube stuff?
I think you have to be you. If you're not you, you see right through it. You can't, do things that work, but also you have to do things that are unique to you. It was explained to me. I had 2 different things that were told to me early on. There's a million people that like you. You just have to find your million people. So whatever that is, whether you like to crush soda cans or you like to, build fishing lures, whatever that is, there's a million other people that have thought of it or will watch it. You just have to sort through all the noise and, find your people. And then, like, if I was trying to explain to somebody how to start, one, just being consistent, and then also either being a novelty or super relatable. So, like, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning. Like, you either have to do things that are really cool, that are unattainable for 99% of people, or you have to be super relatable. Like, my best friend that I fish with, country cousin Greg, like, I think everybody has a fishing buddy like Greg, but they don't record what they do. So, like, I think that just makes I don't know. I think whenever you capture your moments with your friends and people that you've been friends with for a while, it just makes it that much more relatable,
Yeah, I think that's good. And I think what you just said too,
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
authentic. When you're with your friends who know you, you're not trying to be too cool for school. People can vibe off that a little bit easier. Like, they can relate to it, even if you're being a dork or if you're saying stuff that's only funny to you or whatever. Like, I think it's really, really relatable too. I also like how you show your son in the video sometimes without making like a big focus on it. I think it shows that you care about what you care about, which I think is really great. Nate, jump in. And I'm sorry, I got so many questions for Larry.
Oh yeah,
jump in here.
You're good. I don't know if we can pivot off of the YouTube stuff at the moment, but Jordan mentioned your son. You mentioned him earlier. You tell us about your family a little bit, if you don't mind. We both have kiddos. I've got 2. Jordan's got 22. So
6, 7 on the way.
Yeah.
But close. It's close.
Actually,
Yeah.
how is that? Or like, how far are the ages?
Our oldest is Kennedy. She's 16. Gus is 4. And then, well, I guess I haven't really said this on the podcast. I just messed up. But Lola's pregnant with number 7. So,
Well,
yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, super stoked.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, I have Emma. She's my girlfriend. Will soon be wife. Maybe I can't let her hear that. And then I have Leo. He's 4, and then I have a about to be 1-year-old Cassidy. And she is 1. Yeah, just said that.
Are you wrapped around her finger?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Last night she was in our bed and she was like, "Dad, Dad, Dad, Dad," woke me up out of my sleep, and I'm like, "What do you need?"
Yeah.
We can go to the store right now. Buy you a purse or something.
Anything you need. Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? Yeah, girls are different to dads, man. I don't know what it is. I remember I have a video that actually posted like a YouTube short of it not too long ago. I just found it on my phone. Kennedy, who is 16, I think she was 9 at the time, and we went bow hunting together. She wanted to put on like the face paint and everything, got the camo on. And I remember she's in the stand, like making all these funny faces to the camera. And then like just a selfie video. And then I turned the camera off, and I kid you not, we were in the tree for 90 seconds. And she's like, "So now what do we do?" You know, and there was like just like that. Her attention was done. I didn't bring an iPad. I'm like, "No, we're going to hunt." And like and then towards the end of the night, like right before dusk, there was a doe at like 130 yards walking away from us. And she's like, "Dad, what are you doing? Shoot it." I'm like, "Honey, I have a bow. It's 130 yards away through the trees. That's not really how it works." But like, she's just so cute, and she's a girl. And I'm like, "Okay, if you really want me to." Of course I didn't, but yeah.
I think I can.
Up in the air. Ping!
Yeah.
Arc that thing.
Yeah, just lob it.
Yeah, that's dope, dude. But yeah, congrats on the family, dude. There's something about having your own family. It's like a totally different, it ups the stakes in like the best way on everything possible, whether it's a YouTube video or a choice or something you buy or a house or whatever. It just makes everything so much more rich and valuable and, I don't know, worthwhile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dope. Well,
Yeah.
on the pre-wedding that we're not talking about or whatever.
Yeah. Thank you.
Keep it down. I got a wall behind me, so I don't know why I'm looking over my shoulder. But so where do you want to go with this stuff, Larry? What if you could pull a genie out of a lamp? Where are you in 5 years, 10 years? What does it look like?
It's crazy. I was just talking to somebody about this last week. Honestly, I think I'm in a good enough position where I could probably squeeze this out for another like 10 years. Like I think I could. But I think the end goal with all social media is like you build some company and you like ride off into the sunset. Like, Google model or whatever that might be. But for me, sometimes I think like the fishing industry is kind of saturated and it would be hard to build something that would outlast me brand wise, or I haven't had an idea for anything. But I think about like, I don't know, just using, I guess like name, image, likeness for like getting into, I don't know, like a LiDAR drone business or something, something that's like not necessarily construction, but just something that benefits construction companies. And I don't know, I just always think like something that's going to make me 30 grand a month, but like doesn't take that much work, honestly.
Yeah, I like that.
So I don't know. I think because I don't have a lot of free time, but also I have all the free time in the world if like I have a good idea. So like, I don't know. I think 5-10 years from now, hopefully still doing YouTube. I think I'm in a place now where like I could probably do this for as long as I wanted to, and I can keep, snowballing, pivoting and whatnot. But I don't know. That's a good question, because I was actually fishing with my preacher from church, and I was like, we were talking about it. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just enjoy what I do so much, and I'm like just hyper focused on it right now. So whenever I'm pulled away from it, it'll be something else, and I'll put all my effort into it. But right now it's fishing, YouTube, and I just want to probably 5-10 years, honestly, is more like traveling and experiences. And then also we've been talking about like doing summer trips. Like we love to go to the Keys for 2 months because Emma's going to be a teacher. So like we can go and do, she has all that time off. I can go somewhere and film. In the summertime, we could go to Iowa and there's not ice there. We could go and hang out.
Yeah. Yeah. You got a 2-month window.
Yeah. Or like we could go to Colorado, fly fish streams, and just go like give my kids an experience, something new for the channel. And then like we can go try different pizza restaurants in Colorado or, whatever.
Yeah. I like that, man.
Heck yeah.
Good response for sure. Can I ask you like a little bit more, if you're okay with it, a little bit more like nitty gritty?
Yeah.
As far as YouTube, like specificity, is that all right?
Let's do it.
So when you're putting out videos, how do you keep your workload? Because I know for me, like when Nate and I go fishing and stuff, we fish a tournament together or whatever. Sometimes it's hard to, how do I word this? It's hard to shoot stuff because you want to film, but you also want to fish. And then you also want to make sure you're filming in a way that your editing workload is not like this unbearable creature, like, because a lot of people don't realize, like, I've had a lot of people, or I've heard a lot of people say, oh, YouTube's not a job. You're just shooting video and whatever. But you're talking about shooting and then importing, which can be a pain in the butt depending on how many cameras you're running, and then editing and putting it out. And like, it's a process. How do you, Larry, specifically keep your stuff like streamlined to where you can shoot your stuff and get it out in a way that doesn't make you want to rip your hair out? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, most definitely. So my thing is, like, I keep hard drives. I just bought another one, like a SSD hard drive. And every day when I get home, I just offload all my clips. But waking up in the morning, one, to talk about people that think YouTube isn't like a job, or doing anything for yourself isn't a job. Like this morning, I woke up at 4 o'clock. We're doing this. Probably won't go to sleep about 10:30, 11. Like, if you're doing something for yourself, you're going to work 10 times more hard at it. Yeah. And easily, there's probably been multiple weeks where I work 80 hours a week and I'll sleep for 3 days, or, not sleep for 3 days, maybe like, a full day.
Yeah.
But to streamline my process, I run 2 cameras. I have 2 DJI, what are they called? The little action cameras. The Action 5 Pro. I run one on my chest and then one like mounted to a boat if I'm on a boat, or if I'm just bank fishing, I only have the one. Then I have my big camera, so that's for intros. If anything cool happens, just kind of cutaway scenes, talking, just talking head stuff. So whenever I get home, I just put it all into folders and I keep it on my SSD. Whenever I get ready to edit, normally like the morning before, I'll just drop all the stuff in Premiere, so it'll go ahead and start loading. I feel like I've mastered what works for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Because people ask for like, how do I save time editing? How do I do this? There's really no easy way of doing it. Like, you just got to learn how to do it and just do it.
Yeah.
My number one thing is just like, I don't know, we've been pretty big into like faith. So like, I just feel like if it's something that's like what you're supposed to be doing, and if you put your all into it, like the strength to do it, you'll get it from faith, if that makes sense. That's a totally different rabbit hole conversation that you could go down. But I just kind of feel like, I don't know, like if you enjoy what you're doing, you won't complain about it and you'll work 10 times harder at it. That's just a question.
Yeah, that's a quote. If you enjoy what you're doing, you'll work 10 times harder and you won't complain about it. I like that a lot. When you do, again, nitty gritty, because I like this stuff. When you're doing talking head interview, whatever you want to call them, do you do that before, during, after you film like your content?
So this actually comes from TJ Norm. Whenever, like, if I go to Bass Pro and I'm buying $100 worth of tackle for a video, so I'll get out, that talking head, that intro is all filmed in Bass Pro. And then the cool thing about that is that doesn't have to be used that day. So like, you take 3 shirts with you to Bass Pro or Academy or wherever you're going to film, and you go film your 3 intros.
That's awesome.
You have all your stuff, and then you go fish. So, you have it just kind of helps you time wise. Like, if I'm in the mood to talk to the camera, go walk through these stores, because you don't want to do that on a Saturday. Like, you're not going to be able to go into a Bass Pro and record on a Saturday. There's too many people, XYZ. Sorry, will you ask your question one more time? I'm just out of it.
No, you were on it.
You were on it. Yeah, I was just saying, like, when you're doing the talking head portion, do you like to do that before you shoot a video or after? Because I know sometimes if you do it after, then you can kind of recap what went on, or you can. I know some people who do talking head and they do it after, but they kind of fib it, like they do it as if they did it before. Hopefully, we can get on like a 5 or 6 pounder, and then in the video they catch a 5 and a 6 pounder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, how do you do it? Do you have a flow for that, or just
So most of the time I like to just kind of vlog my fishing day. It's the way I think about it. I'd rather over record, and I'm just now getting to a point where I feel like I'm not putting things in the video that I say twice. So like the talking head stuff, going to Bass Pro, like I said earlier, all that stuff is filmed before. All that stuff is truly, in the moment film. Yeah. This year I've started to film like the full video. I'll edit the full video, and then I'll do like try to keep it under a minute, really try to keep it under 30-second intro to the video. So it's just like yo, what's going on, guys? Today we did this. and make sure you watch to the point that we throw the coal shed in the video, because it gets good from that point on. So it kind of gives you, like, if you just want to watch that part, like, just kind of let people know what's going on. And then also too, I'll start to do giveaways this year for if I catch a fish over 5 pounds, and for every tournament win that we've had, and like for the first maybe 6 videos this year, I've caught a fish over 5 pounds. So I've basically done a giveaway in every single video.
Yeah.
So yeah, just starting off talking head, or I film all my stuff day of, just kind of vlog style as I do it, and then I'll go back if things need to be entered, or like if something's kind of hard to follow. Like if you're fishing one pond and then you wait 3 days and conditions look totally different and everything, sometimes I'll say, like, I'll jump on in editing and just say, like, hey, this is 3 days later.
Yeah.
Or, Lord forbid, I filmed a video in January and it doesn't go up until April. Like, I'll just say, like, I know the trees don't have leaves on them. This was filmed in January. It's not from 3 years ago.
Yeah. That's funny. Okay. Do you keep all your stuff on hard drives? Like, do you delete footage, or do you just have like terabytes worth of footage?
I have to delete it, because whenever I go out, I push record on both of my cameras and I clap, and they go for the full day. I have big SD cards and I can record for, I think it's like 9 hours on both cameras. So like if we go fish a tournament, I don't turn them on and off, because just too much stuff happens. Like,
for sure.
My buddy Greg, we were fishing a tournament a couple of years ago, and I think I have the knife. It might be in the garage actually, but he was it was like raining or something outside, and our lithium battery, like the terminal was stuck, or I don't remember what happened. But all we had was a Spyderco knife. It's like $200 knife, and he touches it to the terminal. The trolling motor is on, but the prop isn't spinning. And it was just the biggest flash of like light, and he arced the heck out of my knife, and like I still carry the knife. Just because
shoot up. Did it put a hole in it, or did it black it out, or what did it do?
Yeah, it just arced it. It just looked like somebody tacked a weld. I don't weld, but I imagine like if you touched a welder to it, that's probably what it looks like.
Yeah.
But just like stuff like that, if the camera's not on, you're not gonna catch it. So like there always has got to be a camera rolling. I don't care if we're riding to the truck in the lake. A lot of times I'll have a camera on the dash recording. It doesn't always make the video because it's dark. Like we were fishing a tournament earlier this year, and a shooting star, we saw the brightest shooting star. Like it looked like a Silver Surfer from Fantastic Four shoot across the road. I didn't get it on camera, but like you saw our faces. Like, I don't know. You just have so much stuff happens. You always have to be recording.
Yeah, that's dope. Sorry, Nate. You can jump in whenever you want.
That's awesome.
You're doing that, Larry. So like, I come from a background of like skateboarding and whatever, and we would always try and shoot videos. We sucked, dude. We'd like kickflip like a 3-stair, and we're like, dude, you get that footage? Yeah. Nothing, but we thought we were good. And because we sucked, it would take 3,000 tries, like just take after take after take, and we would always do this thing where like when you got a clip that was worth keeping, you'd always wave your hand in front of the camera a couple times, so that when you're going back through, I got to stop there and back up just a little bit. Do you do anything like that to mark on such a long clip?
So whenever I start, I clap, and that just syncs up my audios from my chest camera and the camera on the boat. Mm-hmm. So I just use the chest camera for the audio, and then I'll delete the audio from the back camera. And then sometimes, like if the camera dies or something, I'll do like a little dance on the front of the boat, or I'll wave my hand in front of the camera. I literally just started doing that. Like I could probably pull that up on my SD card from a couple of days ago where I was doing it. But Lord forbid that ever happens, because that's always a pain. If you have 8 hours of footage, and GoPros and action cameras, they don't record in a continuous loop. You have 40-minute files that you're merging at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would be a whole separate podcast of like how to edit a full day of.
Yeah, I was just curious your
fishing videos.
I was just curious your tricks, because you don't want to sit there and look through footage times 2 cameras and whatever. But like you said, you sync them up, multicam it. I don't know how Premiere goes. I edit on Final Cut.
Yeah.
Kind of marking footage so you can get through it quicker and whatnot. But can we ask you, like, I know you said you're cool with whatever, but can we ask you like some personal life questions? You brought it up, so it's on you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, word. So you said faith stuff. You said you had your preacher in your boat. So you what's your faith? What's that for you? What kind of church you go?
Christianity, I guess. We go to Church of the Highlands here in Alabaster. It's like one church that meets at a whole bunch of different locations. You go and you watch a video. Well, it's not a video. It's streamed from another one of the campuses in Birmingham, Alabama. Mm-hmm. And we love it. Like, it's been super, super life-changing for us. Like, Emma would probably come in here and we could sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So I love it. And then it's cool too, because like all their messages are on demand. So like I listen to them like podcast.
That's dope.
And even if you don't, people watching, if you don't believe, if you just like take it as like these are things that I can do in my life to just make my life better. If your life feels out of order, it probably is. But like if you just all the things might be right. You might not be like smoking, drinking, doing all the crazy stuff, but like your life can be out of order and all the pieces are right. You just have to put them in the right order, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect
So
sense.
like that's always been like one of my biggest takeaways from it all is like, for me, that top thing is faith or like God or, spending time with Jesus and all that would entail. But like also if that's not that for you, it could be like, what is your number one thing? So like if that's my family, but you spend more time with your work and then that's gonna, you're gonna have some friction in between work and family. Like you can't do it all. So like I think it's just great as like I say that because I know if you go to the church, you're gonna want to learn more about God. But if you're like, I'm never going to do that, just go and listen to some of the stuff. And I promise it's like the best thing in the world for just like structuring your life.
Yeah, that's good, man. I like it. Have you been a Jesus fan your whole life, or is this like a new development?
So I grew up in church. I probably have the same story as a lot of people. I grew up in church, went to a non-denominational church from 0 to 18, went to college from 18 to 23, was out of it and did everything, literally not everything, but like everything you're not supposed to do, I did. And then now coming back to it 24 and 25, it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm in the right time to come back to it. Got the kids, and me and Leo wake up in the morning. We read our Bible this morning. Like I was up, and then he comes out of his room and sits in my lap, and we read the Bible together.
Come on,
doesn't get any better.
That's awesome.
For me, at least, like we could be living in a tent doing that, and I'd be happy.
Dude, come on, dude.
So it's just like knowing that, like at 25 years old, if I were to go tonight, like that seed has at least been planted. Like I know he's only 4, so like that needs to be like nurtured and everything, but just like the community that you find and, X, Y, and Z, like I could talk about that for an hour.
Yeah. That's beautiful. The other night, my son woke up screaming, whatever, went into his room again, also 4-year-old, us. And it's so funny, man. Like sometimes he'll just sleep right through the night, like nothing. And other times he'll just wake up and whatever. And I went into his room and I kind of held him for a second. I'm like, it's okay, buddy. And he always wants mama, which always kind of kicks me in the nuts, but that's just me being insecure. But I was like, you're okay, buddy. You don't need to be afraid. And he looked at me like half asleep, half awake and said something like, because Jesus. And I was like, yeah, buddy, because Jesus, but like, I don't know if he even really knows what that means, but you said the seed is there. Yeah. The truth is there. And I just kind of love that vibe, whether it's, because even Jesus said, if you ain't got the faith like a child, like that sort of doesn't need a ton of balance and explanation and whatever, but that childlike faith is a pretty beautiful thing. So yeah, I'm really pumped you're getting to experience that as well, man. Yeah. I'm far from a perfect human being, but I definitely am a fan of Jesus and yeah, I love it. So that's rad to hear. It's rad to hear from you, man. I've definitely heard of Church of the Highlands. Who's the pastor there? Cause I know it's a big deal.
So we have Pastor Chris Hodges. He was like the founder of the church, but he does more of the college stuff now. And we have Mark Pettis, but like our campus pastor, Lee Martinez, shout out to you, Lee, if you watch this. Did such like, they're just, everybody's great people. And I truly do believe, because I used to say this in the beginning, I was like, I wonder how many of these people would be like nice to you if you just ran into them in Walmart. Sure. But like we we see some of these people live in our neighborhood, and like these are people that were waving at us before we went to the church in the neighborhood. So like, I don't know, I really do believe that there's like something powerful, and I don't know, you just go in the building and you feel different. Like I think there's something to it.
Yeah.
Well, obviously there's something to it, but I don't know.
Yeah, there definitely is. Yeah, that's rad.
Yeah, for sure. I think I watched your most recent video where you talked about putting those pieces of the puzzle in life, getting them in the correct order. I thought that resonated with me quite a bit. I thought that was pretty cool. So it's dope to hear you mention it again.
Yeah, and I just share it. Like I was telling my buddy on the boat, and I've told so many people, like as a friend, if you were to take God out of it, once again, I know you shouldn't, but like if you did, like if you just listen to the things that they tell you and like follow them, it will improve your quality of life. So like if I didn't share that with somebody, like, I know I'm not probably doing it the right way by like saying take God out of it, because I don't think you should. But if you are like, church isn't for me, XYZ, like if you just were to follow the things that they say and like just try it, and if you were to tell me your life isn't better, like I would be like, you're lying, or there's a deeper problem here. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's good. That makes a lot of sense, honestly. And so let me ask you another question then. Following that up, with you having like a pretty, Andy Stanley from North Point in Atlanta, Georgia, once said that leadership means influence. You obviously have some influence on people. Did you have any worries talking about Jesus and stuff?
No, not really. I do have worries that like I don't do it enough sometimes, because it's like just one of those things. Like if I have it, I should share it. I should, if it's something that helped me, I feel like I should tell people.
Yeah.
And I guess that's like the Great Commission, but it's also in my mind, it's like I know where I was and like everything's fine. Like I feel like a rock star. Like I have this YouTube channel and like I get to do what I want to do every day, but like I just feel like there has to be something more, and I kind of feel like I found that more through church and just and just I feel like with that you have to share it, just like everything that is done for me in the 2 years that I've been doing it religiously.
Yeah,
that's a good word to use there. I just feel like it's just something you have to share, and like if they were like you have to delete your channel, or like if I had the ultimatum, like either delete your channel or you have to delete your channel if you talk about it again, I would have to just delete my channel.
Wow. Dang. That's big.
100%. And I'll just find something else to do. I'll go do it on the sidewalk. I'll tell people like, hey, I like to fish, and maybe is your life in order?
Yeah. I like what you're saying, but I don't know that's going to happen unless man gets in the way, because I think God's probably pretty pumped to use the platform that you've created. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of rad that you're something for this. And I don't know, like you said, I think when you do something you're passionate about, and if you're passionate about this, there's no reason that, like, I mean, obviously Jesus fished, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
Jesus and fishing and
yeah.
what
First 2 disciples were fishermen.
Yeah, I mean, have you watched The Chosen?
No, Emma's watched The Chosen. I watched
Chosen's dope. I watched the whole
episode of season 5, but I haven't.
Season 5, you can't jump in on season 5.
Well, I just want to see like the end part. Like,
talk about your priorities. You can't put 5 on, dude.
I will say this is funny. I watched where he was riding into the town on a donkey, and I was like, this is so messed up. They couldn't get Jesus a closet. Like there's nothing better than a donkey. Yeah. Not knowing like further on like why he did this, but I'm like, out of all the things that he could ride into this town on, like Jesus should have been in a car.
Yeah. It's also funny that like if you like a lot of the stuff, because I've been I didn't grow up in church. I grew up as a doofus who really liked punching people and doing dumb stuff and getting in fights and being a knucklehead. And I always thought God stuff was fake as crap. I went to a church one time where the pastor said from the microphone at a church, God hates FAGS. And I was like, holy moly. Like, even as a dude who didn't know anything about religion, I was like, that doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah.
I was not really a Jesus-y folk at all. And then I encountered him in a real way. And I was like, whoa, this is too real. So I either have to full blown just say, I'm not going to follow you, or I'm going to, but I can't say like, this isn't real. You know what I mean? Kind of like in the Bible where Paul gets knocked off his horse and he's blind. Like, you can go one way or the other, but you cannot claim ignorance. You cannot claim it's not real, whatever. But anyway, from then on in, it was like, I'm not a perfect dude, but like, I can't not do this. But then I got very into the Bible, reading the Bible, because whatever. So I don't know if you know who Erwin McManus is. He's a pastor of a church in LA called Mosaic. He wrote a really dope Christian book called The Barbarian Way, where he's talking about men being men, kind of like Joby Martin in Florida. And anyway, Erwin McManus is infamous, I'll say, for wearing a shirt that says, Jesus, protect me from your followers. He wears that shirt all the time. Yeah. And I've always sort of felt that way too, because I don't know how stoked Jesus would be on a lot of Christians who get real into churchianity and less into Christianity. Yeah. And so I wanted to read the Bible for myself, almost out of like, dang the man, like whatever, because I want to see what he actually did. And so The Chosen is dope because I've read all these stories so many times, and then I see it kind of not real life, but like a good fiction of it. And I've had the same thought, because it's funny, like that's right before Jesus gets crucified. But in that moment, he's rolling in like a stud when he's on a daggum, like he's stoked on him. Like, that's the best you got. I thought the same thing. Thought the exact same thing, dude. Well, hey, before we transition to, I want to talk to you about tacos. You know, and there's not too many other things that are as godly as a taco. That was obviously
Roll Tide. I agree.
you know what I'm saying? But let's Nate, let's hit this man with one of your favorites. So it's this stupid game we play, Larry. It's supposed to be kind of like rapid fire, quick pace, where we just fire off like one of your favorites, then we fill it in with a random subject, and you tell us one of your favorites, because it's too hard to say like your favorite movie, but if we say one of your favorite movies, whatever. So let's do that, and then we'll talk tacos, and we'll get up out of here.
Okay.
One of your favorites.
All right, Larry. So we'll keep it vanilla to start. Then, what is one of your favorite movies?
I like documentaries and The Last Dance. Michael Jordan.
That was such a good one, man. When me and my homies at my job, we used to always like take that. Michael, I took that personal. We take that everything. Hey man, can you go grab that garbage? I took that personal. You know what? Like that bat jumped off my hook. I took it personal. Whatever. What was he talking about? He's talking about the was it the Jazz Cup?
Isaiah, or is it
or something at a steakhouse?
No, when they walked off.
Yeah, and he went to like shake everybody. Yeah. The coach just kept walking. He's like, I took that personal.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Nate.
What's one of your favorite finesse techniques on a spinning rod?
Ned rig. I'd switch it for BFS baitcaster. Ned rig.
Dude, okay, so hold on. I'm trying to find a lure here real quick that I have. Have you seen the?
Oh boy.
Sorry, I know it's a mess. Dude. Oh, have you seen this thing, the Ned Bug by Great Lakes Finesse?
I'm not.
Oh my Jesus, this thing is. So this is made specifically for Ned rigging. Oh, wow. So it's a little fatter on the top, and then it's smaller at the tail. So it's kind of like a creature bait mixed with a craw shape. And it's just made specifically for Ned rigging, and it is nasty.
Yeah, that looks like it would kill in the river on the Cahaba here.
Yeah, they have a bunch of cool colors in it. And then our buddy Gussie, Jeff Gustafson, told us, because he's a big Ned rig guy, he told us one of the ways that he really likes the Ned rig. I'm trying to find one. He likes to do it on, doggone it. These right here. So not this brand, but more football style head instead of standard round ones. He said he said they stand up a little better in the water. Like when they hit the water, the round ones want to flip over, but the football, kind of like a football, jig, that they just stand up a little bit better in the water. But yeah, man, Ned rigs, I feel like they don't get the love they used to, and they're still dope. Yeah,
I love them. I hate a spinning rod just because I can't tie. I can tie a leader, but it's just an extra step, and I'm not a fan of it.
So you don't put a leader on at all?
Not on a BFS rod. On a spinning rod, if I'm throwing a Ned rig, I know I should, but a lot of times once it comes off, I just tie it and then I stop getting bites. Or I tie it to my main line, I stop getting bites, and I don't throw it anywhere. I throw like a crankbait or something.
So have you? What have you tried? Have you tried the FG? Have you tried Alberto?
So double uni, but I can tie. So like when we go to Louisiana and go red fishing, to 30-pound braid to 20-pound fluoro, I can tie it, and I have had 2 phenomenal days there on separate occasions, 2 separate nights, and I will go out there and I'll catch 30 reds and 20 trout on one hook, and I'll just retie my hook to my leader.
Yeah.
But I go catch a couple pound-and-a-half spotted bass out of a creek close to the house, and my leader is just gone on the third hook set. So I don't know. I know it's a lighter line diameter. Like I'll tie like 10-pound X5 to 8-pound fluoro, and I know that's a lighter diameter. You probably shouldn't set the hook as hard. That might be part of my problem. But that knot just always slips out. Like it always, when I know it detaches at the knot because both ends are
curled up.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's how you know you messed up. Had nothing to do with your equipment. Yeah. Have you ever tried the FG, Larry?
I have. I've watched the videos, and it's easier. I will say it's easier to tie. But then do you do the risotto finish on the end of it?
I mean, I just do it. I watched a couple of videos that Seth Fighter did on it, and I find it like impossible to tie because I feel like I was just watching one of the Despicable Me movies with my kid where the guy turns into like a beetle. If I had the extra arms, it might be easier. But man, I just find that knot so hard to tie. That's why I tie the Crazy Alberto, which is similar, but the loops it doesn't get as tiny when you cinch it down. But I've never had it break on me. But I don't know. Anyway, all right, we're not rapid fire.
A few more twists. That's the key.
Yeah,
for double uni.
Double uni or I do the Alberto mostly, not the Crazy Alberto. But when you get that smaller line diameter, the few more twists you get in it, I don't know, it just seems like it locks up a little bit tighter.
Okay. Yeah, it totally does. What's one of your favorite bands, musicians, artists, something?
So Trudy Oak Revival, newer band.
Okay.
Big fan of them. I feel like Emma would get on to me if I didn't say Pooh Shiesty. I was a pretty big Pooh Shiesty fan, but like Pooh Shiesty, after you talk about God for 30 minutes, probably isn't the best answer.
Right.
But pre like jail Pooh Shiesty, I was big Pooh Shiesty fan.
Okay.
FDO, good song, of course. But Trudy Oak Revival, like if I showed you my music right now on my phone, you'd laugh. Like I don't really listen to. I've switched from like a lot of like rap to like country and just like things that are a little bit easier to listen to.
Yeah.
But like if I went to like my recently played today, it's probably I do a lot of like Christian music too. Like I took up what my grandma used to do, no worldly stuff before like 12 o'clock. So like in the mornings, I try to keep it a little slow.
Yeah.
Just kind of put me in the right headspace and spend a little bit of give God the first,
Yeah, I like it.
There you
Yeah, my old pastor in Texas used to always say, "You don't tune your violin after the show.
Yeah.
Go like do it in the morning." But yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Nate.
What's one of your favorite snacks to take with you on the boat?
I like beef jerky, but like the beef and cheese.
I like the sticks.
Like the old Wisconsin. I'm big on those if you can find them.
Yeah, Wisconsin. One of your favorite YouTube channels that's not yours.
Jesse Hugh. He's a bladesmith.
Okay.
He's like blacksmith. He was on Forge and Fire. Love watching his videos.
Fun to watch. I love those kind of videos. I can't do it. I don't know anything, but they're like, "Oh, I'm making a Damascus, whatever." I'm like,
Yep.
I have no idea what that means, but it's so rad to watch. Yeah.
I love it.
Heck yeah. One of your favorite reasons to take your son fishing.
Just spending time with him Saturday mornings, let's go, because he's 4. So
yeah,
fishing is whatever he wants to do. If he wants to run the trolling motor, we're running the trolling motor. And if you don't like it, you just better get out of the way. Like my son is out here and I'm going to have a fishing buddy. So if you want to dump the worms in the water, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you, like, we're not going to be able to catch bluegill after this, but if that's your fishing decision for the day, let's do it.
I like
heck yeah.
One of your favorite pro fishermen, now old TV show pro, whatever.
I feel like I need to answer that carefully.
Uh,
Honestly, I not just because he's black, but I really like B-Lat. Just because he's kind of like the same vibe of like, dad, and
yeah.
I don't know. I really do like B-Lat. And one of my favorite videos on YouTube is when he won. It was like a FLW event.
Yeah, Seminole.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite like all-time videos on
where
YouTube.
he's falling on stage
Yeah.
and the best, dude.
Yeah, he absolutely killed that video. That was sick. That's probably one of my favorites too.
Yeah,
I remember getting emotional watching it, so I know. Yeah, I know.
Like
it's legit.
me pre-kids, like I revisit that video often, but like I remember watching that pre-kids and it was like, wow, this is really good. And then like with Leo and Cassidy being here now, watching it now, I'm the same way. Like it's a great video.
Yeah, we had him on the podcast, and like while we're recording with him, like every once in a while, a couple of his kids just go behind him. No, he's like, sorry. We're like, no, it's good. You're up, Nate.
I'm up. All right. One of your favorite ways to catch him with a bait caster. I know you just did that. Crankbait. Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of crankbait?
I was pretty blown away by the clear frit side you were throwing the other day in that video. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, dude, clear water, like the frit side's one of the best crankbaits. Like my life on the line, give me one lure, give me a frit side 5 Junior.
Dang, that's a statement.
Yeah, 100%. Like I would say that like even if I didn't work with Berkeley, I would gun to my head, I want one of those.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the homie swears by him, and if you want to talk about somebody who's a crankbait guy, that's the dude. And if he says and I mean, who designed it? One of the greatest crankbait of all time. So it's got a good backing automatically. Yeah, it's hard to argue with that for sure. One of your favorite things to do that has nothing to do with fishing?
Great question. Probably family time.
Yeah.
But like family time outside of the house. So like, whether that's going to a restaurant or vacation or, being too aggressive outside playing soccer or something, whatever that is. I like doing just stuff with the family. I really don't have any hobbies. I want to do golf, but it's just like the time. I can't commit, 3 hours in the evening to go play golf when I could be out fishing, getting ahead.
How I feel about it. Yeah. All right, Nate, you give him one more. I'll give him one more, and we'll move on.
One of your favorite things that your girlfriend cooks.
Ooh.
Oh, he's gonna have to whisper again.
Can I skip to the next question?
We'll keep it moving, dude. We'll keep it moving.
Perfect. Good answer.
That's not funny.
My question was similar. Favorite meals, if you could just snap your fingers and have anything.
Favorite meal.
That she doesn't have to cook it. Just
is Rotel a meal?
Rotel, like the canned like tomatoes and stuff?
Yeah, like Rotel and like cheese, like Rotel dip with Velveeta cheese.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a killer.
Or like crawfish. We had crawfish Friday night, last Friday. I love crawfish too.
Yeah, heck yeah.
New passion of mine.
Real quick story. I don't think I talked about this on the podcast. I'm not sure. But a bunch of years ago when I was working at a church in Austin, Texas, it was right when it was a bunch of years ago now. Orange Fanta. Okay, dude, I see you. For sure. We were talking about that on here the other day, how I love like hood pop, orange soda, grape soda, strawberry soda. Man, it's like the only soda when it's hot out, you drink it and it still tastes good.
Yeah.
Anywho, I was in Austin helping a church after Hurricane Katrina came through, and we were doing like cleanup efforts or whatever. And it was like these 3 women, they were each like 144 years old. They probably weighed like 12 pounds a piece, like these sweet old Southern Louisiana ladies. And they were like, we can't pay you for coming to help us, but we can give you food. And we're like, okay, of course, we're not going to ask for pay to come help clean up. That'd be ridiculous. And the food they made, it was the craziest. Like it was like, this is going to sound terrible. Like, Jesus, don't zap me dead or something. But like, they looked like 3 old witches moving around a giant cauldron, because they had this pot that was as big as they were, and they're just dumping stuff in it. And they're walking around with like little mini, like canoe oars, but they were like these huge spatula things. And they made like a crawfish boil one night. They made crawfish etouffee another night. I don't know if you ever had that, where it's basically just like crawfish tails and like drawn butter with seasoning and stuff. Jambalaya, gumbo, like legitimately might be the best food I've ever had in my entire life. Like I would have stayed there longer and worked harder just for more of that food.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
They were in Texas.
They were in Louisiana. Yeah, right in downtown New Orleans area, working with a church down there after Katrina just set up shop and wrecked everything. But that was the best. But all right, that was one of your favorites.
One of your favorites.
All right, Larry, we won't keep you too much longer, man. We want to respect your time. Again, we are very appreciative of you jumping on. It's been a super fun conversation so far. So one thing I did want to talk to you about, because we don't have the opportunity to talk to a lot of people about it, is shore fishing. A lot of your videos, like I said, one of the first ones I ever saw, and it was just stupid engaging from the jump, like right away in the video, the whole way through. It was really engaging. Was a video where you fished in a prison pond, which is so bananas to me. So a couple of things. Number one, are you getting permission to fish these places? Number two, give us like some simple advice for any homies who are fishing from the bank. How can they get better?
Come up.
So that prison pond video, I actually had a cousin, I have 2 cousins that were COs at that prison at the time. So that was like that was when I was posting those 3 TikToks every day. So like, I guess my face was just recognizable. And that was one of my first videos. And that's one of the biggest videos on my channel. And that place, it's so authentic because I had never caught bass that big ever before. And it was probably April, May.
Yeah.
To that point, my PB was probably like, 2 pounds or something. So like, I'm looking at these fish like flopping on the ground. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I mean, these are like 4 and 5 pound bass. And I'm like, I've just never experienced anything like this before. And then it was with my dad too. So that was even cooler. And then also another crazy thing, I couldn't put in the video, but there was a prisoner there that was fishing, but he was on this like homemade raft made of 55-gallon drums. So he had 3 on each side and then like pallets in the middle. Wow. It was a little boat, and we couldn't record them, unfortunately, but it was pretty cool to see. But bank fishing tips. Number one, if you don't have FishBrain, download FishBrain. Not sponsored, but download FishBrain. It just gives you, spot recommendations, Google Maps, Google Earth. I like to ride around if you have CarPlay in your car. If you're traveling, Google Earth or Google Maps is better than just Apple CarPlay because Google Maps gives you the satellite view. So you can kind of see a little bit better where you're at. Onyx, subscribe to that. You can see who owns places. So being black in Alabama, I'm not door knocking on places, but like I will send a Facebook message if I see something. Like I'm not that's just I wasn't raised like that, and I just don't think that's a very good idea to go knock on people's.
But it makes sense for
Yeah.
sure.
For sure. Yeah.
And then just as far as catching fish from ponds, like I always say, if you can, especially this time of year, early in the year, when fishing can be tough in ponds, like there's some places that we have that the fish are chasing bait right now, and if you can get around where the fish are chasing bait, it's one of those situations that 90% of the fish are in 10% of the water. So throw in things that look like, match the hatch. So like that Frittside 5 Junior looks just like a shad. Or I like to throw one that looks just like a shad. So like I can go and fish a pond in 30 minutes and feel comfortable or confident to know like if there's going to be bass in it or not. And then also just like making sure that you have a multitude of spots and don't be scared to leave and try different places. Like if you're not feeling it, leave. If you're not seeing bait fish or, things being chased, if you're not seeing bugs or there's a lot of turtles in the pond, I don't do turtle ponds.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nothing good ever comes out of a pond loaded with turtles. Well, actually, there was one place that I had access to that was really good and it had a whole bunch of turtles in it, but it also had an alligator in it. So, like, I think the alligator, that was probably like a whole different type of ecosystem.
Yeah.
Right.
And then last, like making sure, if you're making sure that your lure selection is good for the places that you're fishing. So, like Texas rigs, you don't need a 1/2 ounce weight, throwing a Texas rig in a pond. Lighter the better, smaller the better, most cases, unless you're throwing like a big swim bait, big glide bait. And if you're going to throw something like that, you have to put in your mind, like, I might not catch nothing on this today. Like, you can't throw it one time and be like, this thing sucks. If you want a good glide bait, little chop block, shameless plug. I just had it sitting right here.
No, it's good.
A lot cheaper, and then it has that cool harness on it too. So, if you have like a short strike, like in my next video, I caught one, and I wouldn't have caught it without that little hook harness in the back. So yeah, that's my little short spiel on pond fishing.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, it's relatable, right? Like everybody came up fishing ponds. Nobody came. Well, maybe not nobody. Trey McKinney or whoever else, like some of these young dudes. But a lot of people come up fishing out of $80,000 bass boats. A lot of people, like myself, like you, like Nate, we come up fishing ponds because it's all we can do, and it's much harder. It's so much harder than fishing from a boat where you have wide open casting angles and whatever. But you work with what you got for sure. I think that was good advice. And you're right. Yeah, I've definitely fished ponds where I went to them. I've fished turtle ponds, and then I've also fished frog ponds where I go to a pond and there's 3,000 frogs, and I'm like, there's no bass in here. Because if there was, there wouldn't be so many dang frogs jumping all over the place.
Do you have bullfrogs you're in Wisconsin?
Yeah, we do.
I want to do a bullfrog gigging video so bad.
Oh heck yeah, man. That's another delicacy, dude. Some good frog legs.
I want to do that so bad because I've caught a few of them. We don't have very many like big ones here in Alabama.
Okay.
But in Oklahoma, I was fishing there a few years ago, and I caught a few on a frog, like on a sea bile frog that had just like the one swim bait hook in the back of it. I was like, I would love to come and like catch some of these on a video for a video. But that'd be a sick.
When they bite frogs too, they're massive. Like when you pull their legs out, like they're humongous, and they get all aggressive and get all territorial and bite your frog, and it's wild.
See, that's exactly what I want. And then we'll do a big old frog, maybe not boil, but fried frog.
Yeah. Legs, dude, for sure, man. Have you ever so I've eaten frog legs for sure, but I've never made them myself. You ever made them?
I haven't made them, but I had them beginning of last year.
Okay.
And I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's wild.
For like crawfish, like it's a good novelty, good thing to sit around and talk with friends and hang out.
Yeah. When you had your crawfish, did you do a boil or what'd you have?
Oh, so we do a crawfish boil. I would invite everybody that's watching this, but don't come to my house. So we do. So 2 years ago, we were living in an apartment, and we did 30 pounds of crawfish on the stovetop, which that was an experience. And then this year, we did it at the house, and we're going to do it again this year. Or last year, we did it at the house, and then we're going to do it again this year. But I love doing a crawfish boil because it's just a good way to get people, like people that you don't see, you offer crawfish and everybody's coming.
Yeah.
And like we played beer pong at the apartment, got my dad drunk. Like it was so much fun. I just talked about Jesus and I'm like going back on it. But I don't know. It's always just such a good experience, like hanging out with, friends and like having kids and friends with kids and like playing with crawfish. I don't know. It's just a fun little Alabama thing.
Yeah, it's social as heck for sure. You do corn and all that stuff with it too?
Yeah, corn. Emma's big into eggs, so we have to do eggs.
Okay.
Do mushrooms, sausage.
Yeah.
I think we did jalapenos last year. A few jalapenos.
Okay.
I think we put too much of like the liquid boil in it, so it was a little spicy. But we know now.
Yeah. What's that seafood seasoning everybody uses, Nate?
Slap your mama.
Old Bay.
Old Bay. Yeah.
Old Bay.
Oh yeah, and then you like dust it with Old Bay at the end. Yeah.
And when they come out,
Yeah.
good, dude. Yeah.
Y'all are invited.
Okay, bet.
I was in Alabama 2 years ago. So if we go back this year, we've been talking about it. I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna come down.
I'm dead serious. Everybody gets the invite, but not a lot of people take it. I have places that we can go that the fishing's always good. So like you can break your Alabama PB as long as it's not over 5 pounds.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
perfect.
Let's talk about tacos real quick, Mr. Melton. We came up with the name for this podcast, kind of not to say as a joke, but we were going to start a tackle shop where we sold tacos as well. And then when we got asked to do a podcast, we couldn't come up with a good name. And kind of like your YouTube personality, it was like, well, let's not front, let's not fake it. Let's just talk about tacos. Who cares? And we've talked to Seth Fighter, to John Cox, to Easton Fothergill, and everybody in between about tacos. They're the best. They're the absolute best, man. So what's some tacos in Alabama that you're a fan of, Larry?
Honestly, if I go to the Mexican restaurant, I'm like a quesadilla guy.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not being a taco because that's a taco too. It's just pan fried.
Yeah, same thing. I eat it like a taco. Like if it's not cut up, I just pick it up and I eat it like a taco.
Yeah.
But we have a whole bunch of. I guess you could take this multiple ways. We have a whole bunch of good Mexican restaurants here. Like we have one El Terrario, something right here by the house, and it is amazing. Like everything's so good. Emma's big into birria tacos. Birria tacos.
Yeah, birria.
Birria tacos. Huge into those. Dang, I wish I could speak on this better. I did a catch, clean, and cook with the striped bass, and we made tacos, fish tacos. Those were so good. The fish was a little big, so the meat was a little mushy, but
yeah. What'd you do with the meat? Like, how'd you prepare it, or how'd you cook it?
Just fillet it, and then just kind of diced it up and then fried it. Batter and fry, and then just add that to the taco.
Yeah, I honestly I don't know what it is. I didn't have a fish taco till I was older in life, and like fish tacos are the greatest.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. And I'm not a big lettuce and tomato and everything guy, but like you put fish and like a little bit of lime juice, like I put my sombrero on and like, I'm just I'm here for it.
I agree, dude. If you put some lime, cilantro. Nate's not an onion fan, but I like onion and cilantro on it.
You do purple onions?
0 onions.
No onions. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Dude, a couple years ago,
definitely not the first one to say that.
Nate and I went to a derby up north of here. There's a real pretty famous area called Hayward, Wisconsin, just well known for muskie fishing, but also really good bass waters. And we were fishing a 2-day derby, and then we only got up there for 1 day of practice. And afterwards, the only place that was open in the whole town, little town, pretty big touristy town though, was a Chinese place. And Nate got Mongolian beef, asked for no onions, and like 2/3 of his plate was onions. It was the funniest, just all mixed in, and like by the end of the meal, it looked like a little kid who was trying to like separate his stuff off.
like a pile, just a pile of onions.
And I have a picture. I'll have to share it. I have a picture of him like looking at the camera, like not stuff.
You have to tell them that you're allergic. If you say that, like, I don't like pickles. So like if I go to Chick-fil-A, I would say like no pickles on my spicy chicken sandwich, and you say I'm allergic, then they can't put it on. They don't want to do that. Yeah.
That's smart, dude. Have you ever put bacon on your spicy chicken at Chick-fil-A?
I have not. That sounds.
Dude, you gotta try it, dude.
Good idea, though.
Yeah,
he turned me on to that.
I always get bacon on my spicy chicken. I add a little bit of ranch on top, of course. That's a killer. I like the Chick-fil-A sauce too, but on the spicy, I think the ranch sets it off better.
I'm a big ranch guy too.
Yeah, too, man.
A cup of ranch.
Yeah. Okay. So so you said your girlfriend's name is Emma, right?
Yeah.
Does she know about the roots of birria?
Emma, do you know the roots of birria? What? Do you know about the roots of birria? No. If Cassidy's awake, can she come over here? Sorry, Cassidy just started crying. She doesn't know about the roots of birria.
She does or doesn't?
No, she does not.
So birria, that's how you're supposed to say it. Because my wife's Puerto Rican, so like she says it when we go to the restaurant, she says it all cool and authentic, and she's like, "I have a quesadilla," whatever. It sounds all cute and whatever. And I'm like, I'll have me a taco with some meat on it, like a straight ignorant old white dude. But birria, it's a weird deal. So like, I can't remember what country it comes from. I don't think it's straight Mexican. It could be, but I feel like it's from Spain or somewhere, but it's goat meat is where they first invented birria, like where it came out. And they would do this crazy thing where they would soak it in garlic because goat meat on its own smells so bad. And so, like birria was like this remedy to take, just like barbecue. You know, like if you have a good brisket, like a brisket cut on a cow, if you just cooked it, it would taste like eating an eraser. You know, the worst cut of meat. But then when you smoke it for 18 hours, it's like the best tasting thing you'll ever eat because cook it the right way. Birria is the same way. It's like the worst smelly goat meat, but then they did this crazy thing where they like cook it super slow and then shred it and add all this garlic and whatever just to overcome the stank of it. So now birria is basically like beef or whatever, like just kind of shredded, but the roots of it was like stinky meat. So whenever cause I love birria meat too, it's like my favorite thing to get in tacos, but I always think about the roots of like they made this way because it smelled so bad, which is just kind of
interesting. And it's crazy how things like that always become like delicacy, like crab and, you know, whatever, however deep you want to take that. Being from the South, you know, you could go the whole like pig feed and, you know, or maybe not that extreme, but like, what's a good one? Like grits.
Yep.
Some chitlins.
Chitlins,
Chitlin action.
Chitlings.
Yeah. Like chicken wings. Chicken wings used to not be a big one.
Dude, chicken wings are a dope one for me with such a big family because I'll put them on the Traeger and they're 10 times cheaper than like chicken breasts or steak or whatever. And man, chicken wings are hard to beat when you season them right, get a nice crisp on them. And they don't take that long on the smoker. That's a good one. That's a slept on cheap protein, you know?
What type of smoker do you have?
I have a Traeger Ironwood 885. Nate has a Pit Boss, right, Nate? That's your Jeep?
Yeah, Pit Boss, yeah.
So I'm big into Facebook Marketplace. When we were living at the apartment, somebody put out a Weber kettle and it was just sitting there like never been used before. So got it, kind of learned how to cook on it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then recently, I know this probably be funny, you know, real cooks don't use these, but I got a Weber Genesis off Marketplace for $25. It was basically like brand new.
No, that's dope.
But I really wanted a smoker. So I had that kettle grill and I found the Genesis, but like everybody and all the research that I said is like if you have a kettle, you want a smoker next. You know, you're just cooking outside on that propane grill. Like there's no, you might everything that you do on that, you just do it in the house. Save money. But I just asked about the smokers because I know that'll probably be my next summer purchase.
Dude, pellet smokers, it makes the whole deal of smoking so much easier. And Nate, yours connects to like an app as well, right?
Mine's an older one, so it does not, but all the newer ones do now. Yeah.
Because I mean, that sounds kind of bougie and like, oh, you don't really need that, but it makes life so much easier when you can be when you're cooking like a really big, like a butt roast, like a pork or a brisket or whatever, or like some big thick tomahawk steaks, where you can put the little temperature probe in it and then look on your phone. That way, you're not always having to open it. Because like one of the sayings in smoking is, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. You know what I mean? Like not opening it up all the time. I don't know if you've heard of the podcast or the YouTube channel, Larry, called Barbecue Done Right. It's this guy named Malcolm something or other and his wife, and he's just a big, fat, smart Southern chef.
Yes.
He talks about that all the time. Like somebody asked him recently on the podcast, "Hey, if you had $1,200 to spend on a smoker, what would you get?" And he's like, "Oh, if I had $1,200, he's like, I get a smoker and like a Weber, you know, like what you got." You know, have a couple things, whatever. Man, if I had stupid money, you know, if I had 140,000 YouTube followers money, dude, I'd have a Yoder smoker and a heartbeat. Have you ever seen those Yoder smokers from Kansas?
I have not.
Son, you got to look them up. YODER. They are stupid expensive. I think like the cheapest model is like $4,000, and they are bananas. They're basically everything like a Traeger or a Pit Boss is, but then just done super well. Like instead of like aluminum, they're all heavy gauge steel, and they're just overbuilt kind of. You know what I mean? They're just they're bad to the bone. And you've seen them, right, Nate?
I have. Yeah, I think you told me about them a little while ago now, and I looked them up. Yeah, there you are. They're wild for sure.
Yeah, like unless you can go to a store and there's not that many. If you can go to a store where you buy one, otherwise you can get them from Yoder, but they're built to order. So like if you order one today, you're getting it in like 3 months because they're backed up and they're super sick. But anywho, Nate, you got any more questions for Larry? I feel like this has been a super good conversation. Now we're talking about on smokers, and I don't know what we're doing.
What's we talked about, I guess, the tacos a little bit. He said he's a quesadilla guy. What's the favorite meat on the quesadilla?
Oh yeah.
So it used to be shrimp.
Shrimp quesadilla. Okay.
Yeah, shrimp. But then
fancy.
Exactly. Like I'm not. All shrimp quesadillas aren't the same. Like I was always like a shrimp quesadilla kid growing up, but like I couldn't always get it because shrimp is like an upcharge at Mexican restaurants.
Yeah.
But recently I've switched to just like ground beef. Like I'll get 2 ground beef quesadillas. I eat like a little kid at a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah. Getting corn dogs and stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting corn dogs and the grilled cheese. Like it says for 12 and under.
Yeah,
Hey, I was
Larry.
my son did that just the other day. My brother sent me a picture. He's like, "Hey, your son is out eating with us at the Mexican restaurant, and he ordered a corn dog. What's wrong with him?" I legit was disappointed. I was like, "Oh man, I don't know."
Yeah, and you're supposed to, as a man, you're supposed to get just like what is it? The bowl that comes out and it's steaming, like they spray the water on it. You're supposed to get something like that. But here I am with my family of 4 with my 2 cheese quesadillas.
Yeah, then there's my son Gus, who will order a burrito, but he says it burrito. He wants a burrito with steak, and then he gets like a side of guacamole, and he'll literally just eat the guacamole with a spoon. Just shovel that into his mouth, and then he'll go to work on the burrito. And it's so like me and Lola were just talking. So like, where's the here's like a 6 cents jerk bait, like it's like longer. He'll eat the burrito like this. Like he'll go down it, he'll go like sideways like a corn cob, and I'm like, Gus, what are you doing? He's like, what? I'm like, nothing. You're good, buddy. Just go ahead.
How old is he?
4.
Okay. I was about to say if he's older, that's probably the safe way to eat it, like at school. Like you probably can't do that anymore.
He doesn't know. He just likes the way it tastes, and maybe he gets a more equal mix there. Do you guys have Chipotle's down there, Larry? Are you a Chipotle?
Oh, yeah. Yep. High price, high dollar.
Dude, it is, man.
Money.
We were talking to Boom Boom about that. You go to Chipotle, singular burrito. If you get like guac and stuff on it, get not quesadilla, queso on it. You're talking like by yourself, like $16 without trying too hard. That's kind of bananas.
Yep, and I can go to Publix and get a steak for that. Like
no doubt.
You can ask Emma how many times like we'll start adding up like a Taco Bell order, and I'm like, we can just go to Publix and get 2 steaks and be
like, what are we doing?
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense.
No,
and then like we eat half of it, and you can have the rest for breakfast in the morning. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
You're a smart man. I like that, dude. I like that. I like that approach. That's a good way of looking at it. Hey, speaking of which, you said Ned rig. Have you seen these ones? The BKK Ned rigs.
I have not.
Get it on camera. I'm hard. There you go. So the eye is kind of bank in a little bit. Hold on, let me bust one of these out. Speaking of Ned rigs, if you haven't seen these, they're pretty dirty. BK been killing it for a while. But I just saw this sitting on my table. So the eye is kind of sank in, and then so at the top of the head has this little like texture to it. If you can see that on camera.
Yeah.
And then the eye is like sank into like the head. Dude, it's so hard to get this on camera just right. The eye is like sank into the head of the actual Ned head. These are really good. And then I like it's got the 2 keepers for like the plastic on the shank. That's a good one. I like throwing Neds like this, like a 1/4 ounce one, because you can throw them on a bait caster. And then like you were saying about, using finesse, like maybe setting the hook too hard. You can't really set it too hard when you're throwing a bait caster. You can give them all the business. Like step back and just lay it to them. Yeah. I like that better. But Larry, thanks for jumping on, dude. This was stupid fun, man. I like you. I like now that I got to talk to you.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it, and hopefully y'all's water frees up here soon. That's just so foreign to me, like going outside and seeing ice where my lake used to be. I'm like,
what are you?
Awful.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm praying for y'all. I'm praying for the ice to go away.
It's just underneath. Yeah, it's so dumb too. And you know what's really weird too here, Larry, is every year you would think people would learn, but if there's one thing, so like Albert Einstein, it's a long quote, but it's one of my favorite quotes ever. Albert Einstein said, "There are 2 things that are infinite: the universe and human stupidity." And I'm not so sure about the universe. Like that's a cool Albert Einstein quote. Every year you think people would learn, but every year like multiple trucks go through the ice here, like where I live up in Eau Claire, Chippewa Falls area, because they either go on the ice too early, because once it gets thick enough, you can literally, you can drive your vehicle out to the middle of the lake so you don't have to walk the whole way. Every year people go too early or too late, and their truck goes through and like sinks to the bottom of the lake. And I'm like, number one, that's got to be some kind of environmental like issue. You know what I'm saying? And number 2, like, golly, like what are we doing where we live in an area where we're sinking our trucks through ice in the middle of a lake? Like, why do we live here?
All I know is if I sunk my truck in a lake, I am pinning it, and I got a brush pile for like the first spring tournament or like the first tournament, like June, July.
That's brilliant.
I'm gonna go throw an A-rig right over the hood of my
Right
car.
over the top.
Hopefully the windows are busted out of it.
It's got to look
Just-
dope,
yeah.
like side or forward facing or something. It's got to look cool.
Oh, this is my F-150. Look, the license plate said.
That-
That'd be pretty sick.
that's got to be that too.
Like insurance fraud. That'd probably be a pretty good idea. That'd
Yeah.
be
You
like a
remember
good
one-
video.
Scott Martin in Florida found that like that murder car or whatever in one of those canals.
No,
It's Scott.
Yeah,
in the
yeah, it's
canal?
one of his videos. Yeah.
He was fishing like a real like narrow little canal and by a bridge. Sure, shoot. That wasn't on live. That was on like side imaging. He found a
Mhm.
car, like pretty clearly a car. They dug it up and it was in like some crime that they'd been looking for forever. I don't know. I don't think there's like bodies in it or anything, but like, yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah, we have a couple lakes here that are like, if you look up the lake, it's one of those that's like, body found in it, somebody. But fishing in them is stupid. But I'm always scared. Like, what do you do, in that moment,
Yeah,
Because like you want to, like, if it was me and like somebody, one of my loved ones, of course you want to know, but like also too at the same time, it's like I don't want to like hold this. It's not funny, but I don't want to hold this at the end of my rod and like wait for
Yeah.
somebody to come verify.
like drop a buoy, drop a
Yeah, I'll drop a pin and tell you where it's like the general location, but like I don't want to be here.
Yeah, that's like on what is it, Amistad or Falcon, where you can flip up in that graveyard, like the sunken tombstones and stuff. Like that's wild to me. Like it sounds cool. Like I'm gonna, I wonder if I can pull a bass off that tombstone, but also like, that's kind of same time.
Flooded cities like on Logan Martin, there's like gas pumps and whatnot under the water, like from where they flooded cities to build the lake. So
yeah,
I
there's
don't know. I'll pass probably. I probably won't. I don't know. Just pray it never happens, I guess.
yeah,
Be
This-
mad at me.
this is not nearly the same here, but here, just south of where I live, there's a lake called Lake Wazi, and it was like a mine or whatever that they were drilling down on, and they knew there was water underneath at some point, but some cat got a little overzealous and hit the water when they weren't ready, and they had to like just abandon the whole site. And so it's really, really, really deep. But at the bottom, there's like construction trucks and there's like construction equipment that's been down there for like 50 years, like all these trucks like sank way to the bottom, and so like people will go and like scuba dive it and stuff. But they say that a couple of years ago the DNR was out shocking and they found what would be the world record walleye in that lake, but it's so deep that most people can't really like fish down in there. But yeah, not exactly the same, but kind of wild, like some of the stuff that's in the water.
Yeah. How deep is super deep out there?
I can't remember. Let me look it up real quick. Nate, talk to Larry. Let me find this because I'm curious.
Nate, let me ask you some questions.
Oh man, we're gonna put me on the spot. All right, go ahead.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 36. I'll be 37
Wow,
in
yeah,
just a couple of weeks. I don't
Jordan, how
hit
old are
one
you?
here.
I'm 44.
Wow. Golly, y'all look. I
There you
think
go.
y'all are kind of like closer to my age.
He's showing off the age by showing off the dome. It's 300
Right?
feet, Larry. I just looked at it.
300. Wow.
That's deep. That's real deep. That's like big water, like Lake Superior deep.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well,
It's crazy because you'll drown the same way in a foot or 300 foot, but like it's just so much more intimidating, especially like if you're out and it's dark and you see like 189 feet on the depth finder. I couldn't imagine 300.
So you get weird too about like what's beneath you?
Yeah, I was on my kayak. The deepest I ever saw, we had a lake up here called Inland Lake, and I put in at the dam. It's my first time ever here. Didn't practice for the tournament, nothing. Just had got my fish finder, so like I was all excited to see what I could see on down imaging. And I'm trolling out, and like the depth goes from like it's like 5-6 feet, and then it just drops off to like 27. I'm like, okay, that's not bad. Then it drops off again. It's like 83, and then I'm like, oh, it's pretty deep. Then it drops off again. It's like 147 feet, and I'm like, I felt like I was drowning. It's like I need an oxygen mask to kayak across this lake.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, we would go up north and like we'd fish for like a week or whatever. But during the day, it would get so hot, we'd get off the water and we would like knee board and wakeboard and whatever. And every time we fell, I could never, because like I had been in all those areas fishing, and back then we would fish for like muskies and stuff, and I'm like, dude, I know there's like some giant muskies out here. And my brain would just start going on like some Jaws stuff, like I'm gonna get eaten by a muskie, which of course I'm not going to, but it's like deep and I don't know what's beneath me and it's clear and I know there's big fish. And I was just like dying for the boat to come back around to get me the rope so I could get the heck out of there. Straight wussy status. I'm confessing all the wussiness right now, but whatever. Truth.
With you.
Yeah, word. All right, Larry. Well, thanks for jumping on, man. We appreciate you times 100, and we really really real talk. Honestly, we wish you nothing but more success moving forward. And man to man, I appreciate you being honest and vulnerable, even with like faith stuff and just kind of where you're at in that. I respect the crap out of you, man. Thank you for talking with us.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for having me, and thank y'all for watching.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll keep on. Nate, you got anything else?
No, that's it, man. You killed it. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
Thank y'all.
All right. Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you later.
yep.
All right, man.
Peace.
So again, we'll put it up on the screen right now on the if you're on the YouTubes, which of course our social is what, Nate, for everything.
At Tackle and Tacos, AND.
So if you look on YouTube, I'm trying to get a little better with this whole like navigating our interface that we use for like video podcast, whatever you want to call it. But if you're on YouTube, you can see kind of a screenshot of the man's YouTube, and his profile picture is him holding up what looks to be about 20 pounds of largemouth, maybe more in like 4 fish. Larry Melton Jr. His whole slogan is "Fish 'em hard." The dude just gets out there and kills it. Awesome attitude, awesome vibe. Very positive, very, I would say, naturally positive, not a forced thing. And I just think he's relatable. I think he's very likable, like Nate said in the beginning of the conversation. Yeah, Nate?
Yeah, no, for sure. If you haven't watched any of his videos, go check them out. Like I said, the great thing about them is they're just so easy to watch and relate to. One of his most recent ones, he's, with a buddy in the boat, and you kind of get that vibe like you're in the boat with them,
Yeah.
cutting it up, fishing, just having a good time. Like he does a great job for sure.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Kind of taking you along for the ride. And like he said, I didn't know this was his style, but he doesn't stop recording. And I think that kind of makes sense now after watching his videos, because he does put a lot of that kind of candid stuff in there. I referenced it to him. There's that one video. It's a pretty recent one. If you put it up on the screen again, on his YouTube channel, right in the middle is him holding up a really, really big bass. And it's a 7-pounder. In that video, he actually ended up catching 2 7-pounders. But in that video specifically, like I was telling him, it's this really cool edit. It's really clean. It's professional. And then when the music cuts, which usually is an indicator of something shifting, so you're going from an intro into like the meat of the video, right when that music cuts, he's throwing an Alabama rig. He gets a rat's nest, and it pulls the rod, reel, everything out of his hands and into the water. And so it's just like he could have easily got rid of that. He could have easily been like, I look like an idiot, man. I gotta, how the heck do you get a rat's nest on an Alabama rig? That's like the easiest thing ever to cast. And I think if you watch the video, he's trying to chuck it too hard. He's not letting it like take the weight, and that's awesome. I think that's so freaking awesome that he kept it in there. Like that real, that sincerity. And who hasn't had a moment on the water, whether it's chucking a rod in the water or just doing something stupid? Again, referencing my 4-year-old Gus, one of his favorite things for whatever reason is to watch like funny fail videos. He just loves that crap. Like early in the morning, we'll come out. And I'll drink some coffee. He'll bring his blankie out. We'll sit on the couch because he wakes up early, and I'm usually up early. And we'll watch like a YouTube video of some fail thing, whatever. And like the other day, there was like a whole string of them in a row where people were taking pictures of like a fish they caught, doing a selfie, and then they go to throw the fish.
Their phones in the water.
They throw their phone in instead of the fish while they're still holding the fish. And they're like, oh. Yeah. Happens on the water. But for him, for Larry, he could easily just edit it out. He could have just chopped it out, and he didn't. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Like I said, it just helps you relate to him. I think a little bit more, shows his realism, like you're saying.
Yeah.
And obviously he's killing it. 138,000 followers or subscribers on YouTube. Big social on IG and YouTube.
Yeah,
we didn't even talk about his TikTok deals. So
yeah, I think he's got like 40,000 on Instagram, and so the dude's got money coming in from social media. And contrary to what some people may believe, that's not an easy thing, because it's not a 9 to 5 like that. That is always rolling. You get one video out. It's just like, honestly, on a certain level, it's not exactly the same, obviously, but on a certain level, it's like hunting a specific buck and then killing it, because you did all this work, you did all this effort, got it down, and now the clock starts on the next one. There is no rest. There is no, well, I got a video out, I'll just wait for a while. Nope, because now you're right on to the next one because you're only as good as your last video. And so doing that is like your main source of income with a girlfriend slash hopefully to be soon fiance, wife, and 2 kiddos. There's a lot of, if you wanted to look at it that way, there's a lot of pressure. And so that can be a job, the constant shooting, the constant editing, the constant kind of organizing and uploading and then downloading and exporting. There's a lot to go on there. Also, thanks for putting up with me for the first little bit of this conversation. I had to press mute on my mic about 13 times so I could do what Nate just did and like cough off the side, which really sucked because I was really pumped about this conversation. I'm all show sponsors. Let's get through them. We love everybody who is a part of the show. First up is Grizzly Coolers. They are a presenting sponsor, grizzlycoolers.com. Code WCB saves you 15% at checkout. Leupold Optics, LEUPOLD.com, makers of what I believe are actually not just because they're our sponsor, but what I believe are the best polarized fishing sunglasses I've ever worn. The polarization is next level. The style is dope. And again, if you're part of the 1,000 subscriber giveaway on YouTube, you're getting a brand new pair and they are so dope. It is the tortoise shell Bridgers with like a green mirrored lens. They are nasty. Wait till you see these.
That's a dope combo.
It's a dope lens. It's a dope frame. They look good with every outfit you could possibly wear. And they're kind of a versatile lens too, because the inside is like not amber, but it's not super dark, even though they're mirrored. So it's not like you can only wear them in sunny conditions, but whatever. Anyway, leupold.com. And then Moldy's Marine. Jeremy is so graciously agreed to put in a custom-made step on the top of that Grizzly cooler we're putting away by C-Deck. So you can find him on Facebook, and he's got a website, moldysmarine.com, coming soon, made by your boy. And then Denali, which we're super excited about. These rods, the hats, the gear, the hoodie that Nate is wearing right now, the Fission spinning rods. We talked about it last week with the announcement, but man, go to denalifishing.com. Look at the DLE. I like all the rods they put out. I actually mean that. I mean, the fact that Nate said he's got rods from 2013 that he's fished the frick out of and they're still holding up, like that's an endorsement all of its own. But the new DLE rods are incredible. The weight, the balance, the eyelets, the way the guides are constructed, the reel seats. There is literally nothing. Now listen to me now. There is nothing stopping the sensation, the sensitivity of any kind of movement, any kind of bump, any kind of anything from a fish on your line going right to your hands. On that rod, there is nothing stopping every teeny little tick, any kind of anything from going right to your hand. So you're going to feel even the subtlest of all bites, which we all know. Like sometimes the fish are going to train wreck your stuff, and other times you don't know that you got one until you go to reel and wait, and then it's too late and they spit it or whatever. Or if you're fishing deep, or if you're fishing a crankbait at 17 feet deep and you're feeling so much tension and so much pull that sometimes it can be hard to differentiate. I mean, again, on those deep diving crankbaits, sometimes they absolutely rip it out of your hands, and other times it's a little tick and you got to feel it. And that DLE, they're nasty, man. Look them up. denalifishing.com. Those are our sponsors. Like Nate said, if you're trying to follow the show at all on socials, Instagram, Facebook, and as I always say, the Year Turbs at Tackle and Tacos. And I feel like we got to say it one more time for the people in the back. 1,000 YouTube subscriber giveaway, a pair of sunglasses, a 20-quart cooler with a custom-made Moldy's Marine mat on top made by Gator Step, a Denali bait cast rod with a brand new inbox Shimano reel, and then just an absolute crap load of baits that Nate and I use. I already committed to doing one Vision 110 Matt Perch, some square bills, some finesse stuff, some swim bait stuff, like all kinds of stuff. And the cool thing will be, if you look at it sort of like, if you're an imaginer, if you're a vision person, you're going to get a rod tube in the mail that has the Denali rod in it. And then you're going to get one big box, which is the Grizzly 20-quart cooler. You're going to open that cooler. You're going to see that super dope mat on top. And then you open that up, and in there is going to be the pair of Leupold sunglasses, brand new in the box, the Shimano reel, brand new in the box. And then we're literally going to fill up the rest of the space with baits. That's a good freaking day.
Yeah, it's such a great giveaway. I'm so stoked for it. Just as we're recording this, we started the recording at 814 subscribers. We are now up to 815 in
Hey.
just the hour and a half that we've been recording. So it's continually growing. And again, all you got to do is like our post that's on YouTube with the graphic saying giveaway, share it, and send a screenshot showing that you're subscribed to the channel.
Yeah,
Crazy
you
simple.
can either put that screenshot in the comments, or if it's like on Instagram because you can't post photos, you can just message us showing a screenshot that you subscribe to the channel. That's it.
Yeah,
real simple.
Yeah, crazy simple.
Yeah, keep talking, Nate. I'm gonna find something real quick. I'm gonna put it on the screen so we can kind of make sure we're all on the same page real quick. Keep going.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean I'm stoked for this giveaway. Honestly, the growth that we've seen so far has been quite surprising. I think I mentioned it to you earlier, maybe before we were recording, but like it's of course we didn't know or didn't figure it was going to happen overnight, but
yeah,
the speed at which it's already gained, from where we started to now is great, and it feels awesome for sure. So and honestly, we haven't seen a ton of entries. It's been a decent number, but nothing crazy. So you have a good chance at
it.
Yeah, really good chance at winning an awesome giveaway.
So if you look on YouTube right now, what you'll see on the screen is the graphic that I made for it. It just says 1,000 subscribers, giveaway, with like a black kind of textured background. It shows what's in the giveaway. That is the graphic you have to share to your personal social, Facebook or Instagram. You got to share that and then just show us that you shared it. So right now, like Nate said, there's not that many people who have done it. But once we hit 1,000, if you subscribe to our YouTube, but you didn't share that post, then you're not eligible to win the whole shebang. You got to subscribe to our YouTube, show us that you do, however you want to show us, and then just share that post. And if you share that post and you whatever, when we hit 1,000, then the giveaway, like the entry will be like closed, like that window will be closed once we hit 1,000 subscribers. And then we put all those names who have shared and showed us that they subscribe to our YouTube into a hat. We will literally pluck one out and say, hey, Darlene Smith from Fort Smith, Arkansas, you're our winner. Message us your address. She sent us her address. We send her Loophole sunglasses, Denali bait cast rod, Grizzly 20-quart cooler, custom cooler pad, Shimano bait cast reel, and hundreds of dollars in tackle. That's a good day.
That's a great day. Yeah,
great day.
For sure.
So that's it, man. We appreciate you tuning in. I feel like Larry really kind of embodied our whole vibe without even knowing it. Positivity is worth the effort. We appreciate everybody who listens, whether you're just doing it to win a free, awesome giveaway. That's cool. Hopefully we can tempt you into staying longer with our conversations with cool people like Larry. And yeah, we appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.
Bye-bye.